As always, before we get started, we understand how stressful mattress shopping can be. So after this review, if you're still interested in more, click over to realmattressreviews.com where you can find hundreds of other great reviews, and click on the coupons tab to find the best mattress deals available online. Alright, let's get this review started. What's up guys, Ross from realmattressreviews.com. Today we have here the Zoma mattress from zomasleep.com. So there's a few unique features on this mattress you're not going to see in a lot of mattresses with their top comfort layer. There's some zones going on there which we'll talk about after I get it opened up. But what we'll do first, I'll get it opened up and then I'll basically give you guys my first impression when I push on the foams for the first time, lay on the mattress for the first time, and then we'll talk about how it's constructed, how much it costs, and then we'll go into briefly my opinion on how I think the overall performance will be. We'll do some performance testing, and ultimately I'll just let you guys know if I think it's a good buy or not. So what I'll do first is get it popped open and we'll go from there. Alright guys, we've got it all opened up. This expanded really rapidly, and that's partially because this is the hybrid version. I didn't mention at the beginning, Zoma offers a foam version and the hybrid version. So we have here today the hybrid version. Another thing to note is this is a sister company from Amerisleep, who I've reviewed products from in the past, and they're a very reputable company. So I'm really excited to check out this new brand from Amerisleep called Zoma Sleep. At zomasleep.com. So the queens come in on the hybrid at $9.99, and that's the best price you can get with our coupon or our link below, or the coupon from realmattressreviews.com. The foams are actually even a little bit less money. They're $7.99. So both of these are priced really well for a 12-inch thick mattress, and I really recommend 12 inches or more. I don't really love a lot of the 10-inch foam beds or hybrids because you're able to bottom them out a lot easier than a little bit of a thicker mattress. And that's especially if you are a heavier sleeper. Stick with something that's a little bit thicker in my opinion. So what we're going to do today is we'll talk about how the foam feels. I'll lay on it, give you guys my impression on how it feels. I'll try to explain it as best I can. And then we'll do a couple tests with motion transfer, bounce, that kind of thing. And then ultimately I'll do a brief synopsis of the construction. And then if you really want to learn more about that, you can really look on their website. I won't try to bore you guys too much. We'll try to get to the point. So I haven't really felt the foams other than right here when I had my leg up. So let's take a look at the foam response, and that's going to tell us how easy it might be to move around, adjust positions on the mattress. It might be easier to get out of the bed, into the bed, adjust positions, that kind of thing. So we'll push on the foam. The coil system is going to pop up immediately. Keep that in mind. And then the top comfort layers is what's going to give us an idea of foam response. So this is really, really fast. It's almost instant. And this on the site says it's a gel memory foam. So this is going to be an extremely fast responding gel infused foam. So it's great because it's got a soft feel but a super fast response. So this is going to definitely be easy to move around, adjust positions. When you lay down, you're going to sink in and conform almost immediately, as opposed to a super slow moving memory foam where it kind of takes a while to sink in. And in my opinion, this probably isn't going to get nearly as hot either. This top layer also has aerated holes punched throughout it, which is going to help with increased airflow. So while we're talking here about the construction, I might as well just do this part real quick. So this is an independent pocketed coil system that's going to look very similar to these. So all these are individually wrapped and they operate independently. If you're used to a really old school mattress that's going to have interconnected coils, you're going to find that all these new hybrids are going to have much better motion reduction. You're not going to feel your partner move around as much, which is really important, especially if you're on a full or a queen. Kings, you have a little bit more space to spread out, but still really nice to not feel that motion transfer nearly as much. So this also has a foam encasement around the outside, so you don't feel the coils right on the edge, and this is going to give you also better edge support. So you've got a 2-inch layer of comfort foams on the top, an inch transition layer, your coil unit, and then a inch base foam that's going to provide a nice base for beds like this, slats, or whatever else you're planning on putting the mattress on. So that's a quick synopsis of the construction. It's got a nice removable cover. It snaps back into place really quickly. This also came with this free pillow. Feels like a pretty nice pillow. So with that, let's talk about the bounce. So we looked at how the foam, how fast it was responding. This will just give you guys a sense of the bounce. So we'll just drop this anchor a couple times from a few heights. So you can see it's got really good bounce. If this were a super slow moving memory foam, and perhaps with a foam core, you would see this kind of thud in and not bounce very much. So this is kind of right in the middle. It's not super bouncy like latex would be, but not just thudding down like a kind of an old traditional memory foam would do. So what you're gonna probably see here is that it's gonna be extremely easy to adjust positions. It's gonna be very easy to you're just going to sink in very quickly when you lay down versus a slow feel. So right when I lay down, I'm immediately already conformed in. I would give this probably about a 6.5 out of 10 for firmness. It feels pretty soft, but being that this foam is pretty springy, it has like a nice firmness to it as well. You sink in and then you hit that support layer in the coil system. It feels very supportive underneath. But again, I'm not sinking super far in, which I personally like because you're not going to sleep as hot when most of your body is not engulfed by foam. So it's got a really nice firmness for sleeping cool, I think, because you're not going to sink super far into the mattress. So on my back, I feel really, really supportive here in the lumbar. As I mentioned, super easy to move. It's not hard at all. Like if this was an old, traditional memory foam, the foam behind me would take a long time to roll up or to come up. So I would still kind of feel like I'm rolling back into that hole. But as soon as I move, this foam's popped up immediately. I don't feel like I'm, struggling to roll over, which could be helpful for some people. On my side, keep in mind, guys, I'm about 200 pounds, maybe a little bit more after quarantine. I haven't weighed myself in a while, but it's soft enough for sure for side sleepers, especially my weight. Maybe a super light side sleeper might want something a tad softer. But I would say 150 pounds and up, this should be a really good combo sleeping firmness for you. I don't have a lot of pressure at all pushing on my hip or my shoulder. And being how springy it is, it's going to be a great mattress for stomach sleepers too. I feel very supportive underneath, but I don't also feel like it's too firm where I'm, it's soft enough but supportive enough where I'm not going to feel like it's hurting my ribs if it was super firm. A lot of people will tell you firm, firm, firm if you're stomach sleepers. I think that's true in terms of limiting your arch on your lower back, which will cause lower back pain. But for me, I can't be super firm because then I just get rib pain and just pain from it being super firm. So I think this is a good firmness for all three sleeping positions. Let's take a look at the edge support. As I mentioned, this has the foam encasement around the coils. So I can definitely feel when I hit that edge support, it's supportive, but in the seated position, I would just say it's average. I'm not super concerned about the seated position. I just want to know if I'm going to feel like I'm rolling off the bed when I'm laying on the edge. So where I would normally sleep, I have zero roll off the bed feeling whatsoever. If I go kind of on the extreme edge, I have a little bit. I have a little bit of the, I feel like I could roll off. But again, I'm on the extreme edge. You're rarely going to probably sleep like this, where you're naturally going to lay a few inches of wiggle room there. I don't have that at all. So for me, the edge support is going to do the trick for where you're actually going to be asleep. If you are super concerned about it sitting, it's pretty much right in there with the majority of online brands. It's not super great, but the thing is if they make this edge support foam super firm, when you lay here, you'll feel that firm rail, and then you sometimes can get a roll to the middle feeling, which doesn't help at all. That's why a lot of people replace mattresses, because they're bowing in the middle, and then partners tend to roll towards each other. So it's hard to make it super firm without getting that other result too. So this is definitely good edge support when you're in the laying down position. So let's take a look at motion reduction. As I mentioned, you are going to have a lot less motion transfer using these pocketed coils. This is a relatively springy foam, so I would expect it maybe isn't as good as maybe a traditional memory foam. However, I don't think you're going to have any issues with motion reduction at all. And additionally, the foam version may be even better typically than the hybrid would be in that area. But not everyone likes foam. So as I plop down, you're going to see some movement, and keep in mind some of that's just my platform in general. So when I'm rolling very close to that bottle, switching positions pretty aggressively, you're not seeing a lot of movement. And this is going to feel it more than another body would. So I would say it has really good, actually, motion reduction, which I actually thought it maybe wouldn't be that good, being that this foam is such a fast responding foam. But it looks like it's going to perform really well in that area as well. One other thing I want to talk about with the construction briefly is the zones. So this mattress at the foot and the head has channels kind of grooved in, and you can see the imagery of it at the review at realmattressreviews.com. You can click the link below, or on their website, if you follow the link to there, they'll have kind of an image of how these zones operate. But it's zoned, so there's channels here, and what those channels do is they allow you to have better airflow, one, and two, you're going to have a little bit more give where your shoulders would be. I'm not as concerned about it on the feet, but it's always smart to rotate your mattress periodically to wear it more evenly. So that's why they'll do it on both ends. So you're going to have a little more give where your shoulders are going to be, which is going to provide a little less pushback when you're side sleeping. And then the center third doesn't have those channels, so it's going to have a little bit more support in the middle where you need it, where most of your weight's going to be, and where your lumbar of your back is. So it's got those zones to help increase back support, airflow, to provide less push on your shoulders when you're side sleeping. So it's a really creative design they did on the top layer of foam. So let's take a look briefly at this pillow. It's a memory foam pillow. It's got a nice cover. You're going to be able to wash that, and then this is all sewn up, so you're not going to be able to take fill out of it. However, it's not super thick, so I doubt you'd want to anyway. This is about the exact thickness of pillow that I like. It's not super thick where I'm going like this, and it's not completely flat. So this is a good free pillow that they've provided. Sometimes the free pillows are pretty junky, but this is a nice quality. I like the thickness, supportive. The memory foam you are going to be able to fluff, but it doesn't appear that we'll be able to remove or add. So this gives you guys a pretty good synopsis of this mattress. Let's go over it and conclude my thoughts here. I think that this mattress is a really good value at $9.99. A lot of the mattresses you find today are, you know, above that price, $12.99, $13, $14, $15.99, and not all of them are 12 inches. So this is the thickness that I like, 12 inches or more. It has very fast responding foam, which is very nice for those of you that have a tough time moving, adjusting positions, and that's even if you don't have that, a fast responding foam, that's still very supportive. And pressure relieving, to me, is just a good option because your traditional memory foams are going to trap heat a lot more. They're going to be harder to move around on. Ultimately, they're just a super slow responding memory foam, in my opinion, isn't really the way to go. So I like these faster responding foams. I think the mattress is going to sleep very cool. In terms of how it feels, I think it's going to be great for those of you that are combination sleepers, switching it up between side, back, and stomach. And I do think it's, you know, firm enough for stomach sleepers only, side sleepers only. If you're super light, I would say you might want something a little bit softer. Again, I thought this was about a 6.5 out of 10, with 10 being the firmest. Sorry, my dog decided to say hi. But overall, I think it's a really excellent value. I like that it's owned by an established company, Amerisleep, and it's a really good quality mattress, in my opinion, for $9.99. So if you guys have any questions, drop them below. Otherwise, please head over to realmattressreviews.com. I have tons of other great reviews, and on the right-hand side, you can click on Mattress Concierge. If you have any questions, shoot me a message, and I'll try to get back to you as soon as I can. Alright guys, thanks for watching, and appreciate you, and have a great night. Thanks.